Hello and welcome to another episode of Wedflics. I'm your host, Julia Braime. I'm the founder and editor of Brides Up North, the top UK wedding blog for northern couples, and the editor of bridal glossy Unveiled magazine. In this programme, I speak with one of our Unveiled network members, the amazing Rebecca of Rebecca Ann Designs. Rebecca has a company creating the most beautiful embroidered veils, whether from one of her gorgeous collections or a bespoke piece. But enough from me, let's find out about it from the lady herself. Okay, so hi Rebecca and welcome to Wedflics.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So everybody, this is Rebecca Stead. You will know her better as Rebecca Ann Designs, and she is one of our amazing Unveiled network members. So Rebecca, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a bit about what you do in your business?
Sure. So I am Rebecca, and Rebecca Ann Designs is based around embroidered veils. So on the face of it, you might think embroidery is old-fashioned, but it certainly doesn't have to be. It can be really modern and unique and personal to the bride. So it's a really exciting journey to go on together.
Oh, fantastic. So how did it all begin? How did you get into embroidering bridal veils for a career?
Well, I studied fashion design at university and absolutely loved the whole process of designing and making. And I won an award for my final collection in my final year, which was an internship with Sassy Holford, which was incredible. And I learned so much. And I just fell head over heels in love with the wedding industry. So I then managed bridal boutiques for 7 or 8 years. So I have lots of experience in styling brides as well. And I just found there was a gap in the market. These brides were trying on the most incredible dresses, and the veils just didn't seem to match up in quality, to be honest. There was lots of veil companies out there, but not necessarily veil designers. So I started the label about 5 years ago, and originally it really was just because of that, just to create really high quality veils. So the focus was just to create simple veils, lace edge veils, very classic, not to take away from the dress. And then this year I kind of took a different direction with it all.
And I absolutely love the direction you've taken. Rebecca was just showing me a couple of her products off camera that we'll get to. If you're listening to this on audio, you need to go and check out her website, which we'll give you the details for as well. But as a bride, I was all about the veil, and I had to kind of bespoke up my own veil with lots of rhinestones going on, actually. Back then, it was 10 years ago, so
yeah.
But when you were showing me your products, they are super special, and they're like a fashion piece in themselves. To work with the gown and to just up the ante of the overall look.
Yeah.
And in no way are they old-fashioned. They can be classic or they can be fashion focused. It can go either way in the way that you wear it and the dress or the outfit that you choose to put it with. It doesn't always have to be a dress, by the way, brides, these days.
Oh, I love a suit with a veil. Nice.
So do I, aka Laura Whitmore.
Yes, yeah.
Right now. But yeah, I just think that there's so much room to do something really special, and your veils are definitely where it's at. So tell us about what you offer. You do bespoke, but you also have your new collections, which we've been debuting for you on our Unveiled.
Yeah, thank you.
Tell us about the collections.
Sure. So there are 3 main collections. So you have the Wildflower Collection, which speaks for itself, and there's a few different designs. The one that seems to catch most people's eye is Meadow, which has got the flowers all along the bottom, which is one of my favourite to make. And then you've got the Celestial veils as well. So they are covered in stars that are all embroidered, and they have the southern and northern hemispheres constellations in order, roughly, on a veil. So I studied that a little bit just to try and make sure it wasn't completely random. So they're really special to me. And also the script veils, which is where brides can have any message that they want embroidered onto their veil, which is super special.
Fantastic. Do you want to show us some examples of that?
Yeah, of course. So the script veil is here. So this is the text that I use, the font.
Wow.
So there's a few designs on the website that brides can obviously buy, but generally they go bespoke when it's script, because obviously you can really do what you want. You could have your wedding vows or a line from your favorite song, maybe the song your first dance is to. So the opportunities with that is really lovely, and I love getting those orders because they really are personal to the bride and groom. It's a really nice thing to make.
That was a beautiful kind of looping script along the bottom of the veil. I think it was saying the best thing that, what was it saying on that veil?
The best thing to hold on to in life is each other, which is an Audrey Hepburn quote.
So lovely. But I would urge anyone listening on audio to go over to Rebecca's website. What's your website, Rebecca?
It's www.rebeccaanndesigns.co.uk, and the Anne has an E.
Yes, very important. I'll drop it here. You see it on our screen right now. But if you're listening on audio, do go and check out those script veils. So should we see one from the Wildflower Collection?
Yes. So here is, this is a version of Cascade, which is where the wildflowers are dotted all around, just scattered onto the veil. And this one also has an additional sample of initials and wedding date, just to show you how you can add your own personalization to a veil that I've already designed. So you don't have to go fully bespoke, you could go semi-bespoke and just add your own personalized details to them.
So for those on audio, again, you should check out the website. But that was a beautiful design with flowers kind of dropping down the veil. It's kind of like an outline of a wildflower, isn't it? That you
yeah, they are. They're really yeah, they're quite clear what they are. They're not too shaded in or anything.
No, it's gorgeous.
And then the celestial veil, as I said, it's got all the constellations, so you can see all of them on there. Or, you know, if you wanted to go bespoke and you just wanted your star sign and your partner's star sign, maybe you could do something quite special with that. And you could always weave in more of a discrete text. So it's kind of hard to show you so far away, but you can have the sort of smaller words just scattered through and have a quote going through the whole veil if you wanted to.
Do you know what's interesting? So as soon as you say the celestial collection to me, I think, oh, because I love the stars and I love
me too.
Oh, like that's perfect for me. Then when you get the wildflower out, I think, oh no, I love that. That's the one I want. But then as soon as you hold up those constellations, I'm back with the stars. And I'm like, yes, no, actually,
that's the one for you.
Definitely. I feel like, okay, I've had my wedding, so I'm feeling a bit jealous. I feel like I need to have some sort of bespoke something made.
Yeah, we'll have to get our heads together for something.
I need some sort of top.
Yeah.
Sure. But no, I mean, is that all hand done? That stitching?
No, so it's machine stitching, but all the designs are designed by hand, and then I digitize them, which takes quite a while. You basically then have to retrace it onto the computer. So it's not a case of just drawing something, scanning it in and saying, yeah, stitch. You have to work on the embroidery stitches and basically redraw it on a computer. So it can be a long process, but it's worth it. Even now I watch the machine and I'm like, that is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. And you see, but you make them all yourself.
Yes. Yeah, so the actual process of the veil, every step I do, so from cutting it out to stitching it onto a comb. So it means I can do absolutely any length. So they're not all just standard lengths. Even if you're going for a veil from the collection, if you want it set length, I can do that. So yeah, every step is done by me. So quality control is up there.
Yeah, I can imagine that, having gotten to know you through the network. I can imagine you're quite fussy and wouldn't put out anything that wasn't completely perfect.
Yeah, I'm probably a little too fussy for my own good. I'm quite a perfectionist, which can be hard when you're doing everything yourself. You can be a little bit hard on yourself perhaps, but I want to be proud of every single piece that leaves the studio. So yeah.
In bridal, I think bridal's an industry where that's okay / encouraged. So
yeah,
if you're a perfectionist, it's definitely one to get into.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do your veils come? Like when a bride collects them, do they come boxed? How are they presented?
Yeah, so I've actually just reordered some new boxes, so I don't have a sample one here. But they come in a white box, which has got my logo embossed on it. And then you'll open the lid, and then it'll be beautifully tissue wrapped inside, ready to unveil. So yeah.
Great product placement there. Yeah. Wow. I mean, it's very special as well because afterwards you can box it up, keep it as a keepsake. It's really nice that it comes kind of not just in a bit of cellophane, you know,
Yes.
some veils do. It's really nicely done. So it's a really luxury process right from the start.
Yeah.
And the website, you've recently upgraded your website to match the quality of your product. And so I think that right from the first click, shoppers to the website or people who want to contact you for something more bespoke are getting that a feel of your service through that. So it's really, really beautiful, your website. And I think as part of the bridal process, it's really exciting for brides to visit that site and put their orders in or get in touch with you.
I think it's nice as well that they are talking to the designer.
Yeah.
And I've had so many lovely emails back in the last couple of weeks, just saying how nice it is to actually be talking to me. And you think, well, yeah, I'm all the hats, but you kind of forget that that's a nice thing for a bride, actually.
I think it's a nice thing in any business. It takes you kind of right to the top dog, and you know that you're in safe hands, really.
Yeah, definitely.
So, okay, so how does the bespoke process differ from ordering a veil through the website?
So ordering a veil through the website, it's all there. You can see what you're buying, and you can click and buy and pay in full, or if brides would rather do a deposit and then installments, I can do that as well. They just need to get in touch. But with bespoke, it's obviously quite different. So I always ask brides to contact me via email first. And then if they want to, we can set up a Zoom call and talk about things that way. But at the moment, most brides seem quite happy to just be emailing. And we basically talk about their wedding, how they want to feel on the day, what the wedding style is. Is it a really small, intimate wedding, or are they planning to wait and do the big do when we can? And obviously the dress, because the veil needs to complement the dress, because that is the all important part. So yeah, we just talk through all of that, and then we come up with ideas together, because obviously I'm the designer and I will put my 2 pennies in, but actually it's so important for me to get to know my clients and get a feel for what they really want. So then we'll discuss lots of ideas, come up with a plan, and then I'll give them a quote. And then once we get the ball rolling, they will receive a design in the post. So they'll get a lovely little drawing, and I'll do their design onto here, and a sample of some of the embroidery, so that they can get a real feel for what it's going to look like and feel like. And then as soon as they've approved that, I can then begin the actual veil.
Okay, and so what would the lead time be on something like, what in the process?
So it really depends on the intricacy of what they're looking for. If they're going for something really simple, I can probably turn it around within a month and a half. But if it's something quite intricate and full on embroidery, then it can be up to 16 weeks, and depending on the time of year as well. So I do suggest, if brides want to go bespoke, that they start the process sooner rather than later, just so that we can map out how long we've got. And I like to deliver the veil about a month or so before, so that they can take it to their final dress fitting and see it all coming together before the big day as well. So it's kind of accounting for all of that as well.
Yeah, that's so nice. What a lovely moment to take your bespoke veil with you to the dress fitting. It's just, I love bridal. I love everything about it. So that's
me too.
My favorite thing. Okay, so where do you get your inspiration from, particularly for your collections?
I mean, for these ones, because this is my first embroidered collection. If I'm honest,
your first embroidered collection, because you're so good at it. You're absolutely killing it with these amazing designs.
I know, I feel like I've set the bar high now, though. I'm like, oh, no. But I basically did, the celestial in particular seems to be quite a trend. But I love it. I make the things I love, and if I've put my passion into it, then hopefully that's going to show as well, and people will fall in love with it just as I have. But it's definitely kind of keeping an eye on some trends. But really, I've found that so far the collections have just been a really great way of showing what can be done. And most brides at the moment, I would say about 90% of the brides on my books so far are bespoke, because they've been inspired by the quality, I guess, and the styling of how I embroider. But actually they've then thought, oh, I want to match it to the lace on my dress, or I want to include places that we've visited together and create like a story on my veil. And it's lovely having inspired all these women to do something a bit different.
Yeah, it's interesting that, because I am very much someone, because I like to think about how I would use the process, and I'm very much someone who wants to have it now. So I will always just click and buy and want it now. I'm just so impatient. But there is like a step back to be taken with your wedding, isn't there?
Yes. Yeah.
Make sure that, you know, it's worth investing in that bespoke process, because you only get to do this once. So why not do it to the very best standard and make it super personal to you?
Absolutely agree. Yeah.
So talking about materials, I know you're keen to move towards sustainability, and you also like to support UK suppliers. What's your thinking behind that?
So at the moment, I use a tool that I do buy from a UK supplier, but what I'd really like is to find a sustainable, eco-friendly tool, which I just think would be such a lovely thing to give, and that extra special feeling as well that your veil is made from a sustainable tool. So it's something that I have been researching a lot this month, just to see if it's something I can add into the collections this year.
Yeah, it's a really nice way to move the business, and admirable, I think. Talking about giving, do people do this as a gift? Do like mothers of the bride or mothers of the groom tend to get in touch with you to make a gift for the bride to be, or is it the bride to be that's getting into it more?
Yeah, it's funny. I haven't really had that yet. I think when I worked in boutiques, you found that happened, and that especially when they're buying their dress, maybe mother-in-law would say, "Oh, I'll buy the veil." Or I'd often have friends phoning saying, "Oh, she keeps talking about the veil, and I know she didn't put a deposit down on it, but can I buy it for her?" And then we'd give it to her in her fitting as a surprise. So I think that is out there, but I don't know. When it comes to bespoke and embroidery, I guess it is still quite a personal process. But I have been thinking about adding maybe gift vouchers onto the website. I don't know if
I think that's a great idea, because I think it's a really lovely gift if you know someone who's getting married. And I know a lot of people have just got engaged.
Yeah.
Over Christmas and New Year. I know that you've had a big upturn in bookings and that you're very busy.
Yeah. Busiest month ever.
But I think it's a really nice thing. It's just making people aware of that on the front end, that that's something you offer, because you're not in store, although you are in store. So let's talk about your stockist. So Rebecca had an exciting year where she's had her label now stocked in actual real life bridal boutiques.
Makes it feel all the more real. It's a legitimate business now.
I think it was before, but you're going for world domination, right?
Oh, absolutely. One of my aims this year, I'm going to be manifesting to take this outside of the UK for sure.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Whereabouts outside the UK? Where's your aim?
Few boutiques in Europe that I've spoken to, and it's just working out how it can work between us. And even in the US, I have quite a few brides contact me from the US, like through Instagram, and so that's something I'd really like to pursue, is to have an outlet over in the US for sure.
I can imagine that your veils are very popular with the US market. Knowing the trends as I do from over there, and also Australia. I throughout Australia, you know, pick the hardest possible place for you to get your veils too. But
but I'd love it.
Yeah, you'd have to go do a recce and go over and meet the boutique owners.
That's fine.
But let's talk about your UK boutiques. So brides to be want that in boutique experience when they're shopping for their veil. Where can they find Rebecca Ann Design?
Yeah, definitely. So I'm stocked in Wildflower Bridal, which is in Chepstow in Wales, She's been a long-term stockist of mine for quite a few years, so would definitely recommend. And then this year I've taken on 3 new stockists so far. I say this year, 2020. And that includes Flamingo Boulevard and the White Yard. But my newest stockist is Serendipity.
Serendipity. So we've got 2 Unveiled Network members there. We have the White Yard in Yorkshire and Serendipity Brides, the lovely Sarah in the Northwest. Yeah. And then obviously Flamingo Boulevard in Liverpool is a fantastic boutique too. Yeah. And Wildflower. So you're starting some really, fashion forward really boutiques there. So I think it's perfect product placement for your veils. So I think, the brides are going to be absolutely loving that. The thing is, nowadays, some brides aren't really sure about having a veil, but potentially those fashion-forward ones that we were just talking about. So why would you say a bride should consider adding a veil to her wedding day look?
When else can you wear one?
True.
I mean, from working in boutiques, I always remember those appointments where brides would be like, no, I don't want a veil. It's too fussy, too traditional. And actually, when you get the right veil, and you suddenly feel like the bride and you're getting married, but it's finding the version of you as the bride. You don't want to feel like you're dressing up. It's the same as finding the perfect dress. It needs to feel right on all levels. And I think there is a veil for everyone. I really do think that. It's just getting the right one. And that's where, if brides aren't sure, just pop me an email and we can just talk about styles and see how it feels for you.
Yeah, you've almost just described the process of finding the perfect partner. He or she is right for you on all levels. Just write your veil. Just follow that model.
Yeah, there you go.
Partner.
We can all do that.
Yeah. You've got this far. Why not? Listen, I would 100% advise any bride to go for the veil experience, or at least try it, because the minute you put that veil on in the shop, you have that moment, more so than the dress, because you're trying on dresses.
Yes.
And you finally find one that you think, okay, this is the one, it's amazing. But it's when you put that veil in that you're like, I'm a bride.
Yeah, it's so true. It's giving me goosebumps even now. I just love those moments.
Me too. And that's like the girliest thing to say ever, and I am quite girly and apologetically so, but I defy any bride not to be a little bit, it's real as soon as it puts on that veil, no matter what your wedding's going to look like or feel like. There's a place definitely for a veil for you.
Agreed.
So, why do you love working in bridal so much, Rebecca? Like, what's it about the industry that you love?
I just think originally it's just full of beautiful things, isn't it? I mean, why wouldn't you want to? And then working in boutiques, it just being part of the experience with a bride and going on that journey. And now being able to do that for myself in my own business on my own terms is just, you can't really describe the feeling when people email you and are so complimentary about your work and then buy from you. It feels amazing. And I think especially with everything going on last year and continuing, I think the industry is just such a close-knit thing now, and it feels like such a wonderful community to be in, and everyone's so supportive of one another, and it's just a lovely thing to work in.
I think the pandemic brought so much pain to our industry, both for our couples and for the people working in it, and continues to do so. What it really has done is it's brought us all together, and we just kind of put aside any competition on in the main and support each other and hold each other up and get each other through it, and for our couples too, and that it's been a real, it's been a good feeling, that side of it. In all the bad, that's been one of the really positive
definitely
now, and I think we need to hold on to that as we move forward. And I'm sure the industry's back on its feet, there'll be a lot of new entrants, and I hope that we can kind of pass that baton to the new entrants to the industry as well, to say, hey, look, this is how we do things around here, be supportive. I'll be banging that drum.
Absolutely.
So Rebecca, what's been your proudest moment so far in your business journey?
Do you know, I think just taking it full time, because I've had the business 5 years, and as I said before, it was kind of just made because I felt there wasn't a quality veil, and I just was making veils. I wasn't designing really. It was just the same old thing, but with quality. And I think I always dreamed about it being full time, but I never really believed it. I don't know, and I think with everything happening this year, it makes you look at things so differently. And I'm so proud of myself for having the confidence to just go for it and actually believe that it could work, and it has, and it is a really lovely feeling.
Talk about hats.
I've actually got one here. That's really funny. I didn't actually realise that was behind me. That wasn't product placement. Oh dear, this is my one. But yeah, I've just before Christmas I launched the extended collection, which you can also get on the website, and there is more of like a honeymoon collection. There's a sun hat and a lovely canvas tote bag, but at the moment people are really going for these fedoras because they're obviously a great winter, spring, summer, autumn addition to your wardrobe. And there are set designs again, like with the veils you can have your name, or there's a wildflower design, but again people are going bespoke. It's great. I'm really enjoying making these because you can just put your own little additions on it. It's quite nice.
I absolutely love those. Now, I want to know, will you be doing a Panama version?
There might be a plan in the pipeline for a couple of different hats actually, and that might be one that I'm looking at, as well as possibly a beret. So yeah, I am looking at adding a few more different things. I didn't really think people would buy them. I just made it, like with the veils, I made it because I wanted one. And then they've proved really popular. So I think the extended collection is something that I can keep kind of adding these little things to, which is really exciting.
Yeah, so listen, I'm all about hats. So I think I need to be investing in a winter one, but I really, really love a Panama hat. So I wear them on the beach, I wear them to the races. I'm all about them. They're my favorite accessory in life.
So I'll get them on then.
The minute Panamas are a thing, I want you emailing me immediately, and I'm going to photo.
Making a note.
I'm happy to be, like an early tester.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I love a Panama hat. So yeah, that is fantastic. Cool. So I can get my fix of Rebecca and Design. So that's good. I don't need.
Well, yeah. That's what's quite nice. It kind of takes your experience further, or allows you in if you're not getting married. It's quite nice, really.
Yeah, I love it. It'll be shoes next, Rebecca, no pressure.
Oh my gosh, honestly, the ideas in my head, I'm like, I could do this and this and this.
It would be great. Anyway, we'll move on. So what if people want to contact you for your current product line, yes. Where do they find you? We'll pop the website address in again, so if you tell me.
Yeah, so it's www.rebeccaanndesigns.co.uk.
And how about on social media?
It's just at Rebecca Ann Designs on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest. You can find me on them all.
Keeping it easy. Rebecca, it's been such a pleasure talking to you today.
Thank you.
Anyone who's been watching or listening, head over to those website and to the social media and check out Rebecca's designs for yourself, because there's only so much talking we can do and you can see for yourself. Thanks for being our guest.
Thank you very much for having me.